So your teens and your 20s can feel like the most complicated years of your life. People expect so much of you during those years, and nothing ruins those years more than thinking that you should have your life together already. So first things first, what are beliefs? So beliefs are our brain's way of making sense of the complex world that we live in. They are mental representations of how things should be related to each other. All beliefs are templates used for survival, essentially. Most of the beliefs we're conscious of start from a very young age. They stem from what we see and what we learn as kids by the people and the environment we surround ourselves with. Experience comes with age. The older you get, the more you immerse yourself in things that give you a wider scope and larger perspective. The reason why I think we have a really hard time in letting go of things and the beliefs that we cling on to is because of how the image in our heads is supposed to be. There's this imaginary timeline that seems to magically appear in our heads around the age of 16 to 17. And we start to believe that it's the one we're meant to follow in order to receive this big red tick of approval to say that we're on the right path, because we're ticking all the right boxes. Most of the boxes tend to be things that we're just expected to want to be deemed a success. Things like graduating with a degree, getting a job, getting married, buying a house, having a family, and a pet dog. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself, whose red tick of approval are you seeking and why? The older we get, the more the belief systems that are instilled in us from a really young age become limiting because they are not serving the highest and truest version of ourselves that we're trying to become. Ultimately, it just makes us feel stuck. This is a poorly drawn drawing of what a belief system basically looks like. There's where you are now and where you want to be. In the middle is the belief systems we put in place to either get us to here or make us stay here. This defines what's possible. This is also where a lot of our limitations lie. The biggest one being ourselves. Examples of these limiting beliefs can be things like, I need love and approval from those significant to me. My unhappiness is out of my control and others are to blame for it. To be worthy, I must achieve and succeed at whatever I do, making no mistakes. Here's something that I believe to be absolutely true. Circumstances don't determine your state of being. Your state of being determines your circumstances. Which is why you shouldn't believe everything you think, because thoughts without careful examination tend to just be other people's opinions. So, what's the secret to success? Right decisions. How do you make the right decision? Experiences. How do you gain experience? Wrong decisions. So if we believe that success means the job title you have or the things you own that form your identity, then we also believe that chasing after those things is what will bring us joy, happiness, and fulfillment. But that's all we're going to be doing, is chasing onto the next thing and the next thing in hopes that that thing is going to give us that sense of fulfillment. And something else that I believe to be true is that the older you get, the more you just get told that life just is because it is. And you have to live within the four walls of that box to keep you safe, making sure you don't step out of that box. And to fit the different boxes people created for you, you say what they want to hear. But when you live an authentic life that's true to you, you say what needs to be said, not what they want to hear. Because living within that box that others have created for you, well, that's a very limited life. And there is a hell of a lot more to life than just those four walls. Once we stop craving for things to happen a certain way, we transcend those attachments and stop creating resistance, allowing things to just flow seamlessly. But here's the real plot twist. It's realizing that this thing that they call life was made up by others who are no smarter than you are. And you have the power to change that by taking back your own life. Because once you realize this, you'll never be the same again. Everything in life starts with awareness first, mindset second, and action third. Your actions follow your thoughts, your beliefs, and your ideas. To make the shift and free your energy, start by becoming more mindful, so you can get your mind right to take action from the right place. And that's when you begin to feel real happiness, because real happiness is enjoying the present and not letting fear dictate what will happen next. It's about being satisfied with what you have right now. It's the freedom that you feel when the choices and decisions that you make are entirely yours. Truth is, life begins when you start to make peace with your past. It allows you to apply the lessons that you've learned from previous experiences to apply to whatever your newfound happiness might look like. And have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what if everything you're going through right now is preparing you for what you've always asked for? Your journey might not even be about becoming something or going somewhere. It could well be just unbecoming everything you once thought you were. So here's a word of advice. If you're mourning the loss of what you thought your life was going to be like, then just let it be. Things don't always work out like you had planned, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Those mistakes that you made in the past, they were lessons. Lessons that molded you into who you are today.